Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having an amazing day. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz, aka My Passel Past. I'm a variety streamer that does a lot of cozy games, with right now my obsession being Animal Crossing. Today's video is super exciting for me. I've been wanting to film this for a while. It is my Sunken Garden speed build. I will also note that I am posting this a day earlier, so when you all see this or when this video goes up, it'll be on Friday instead of Saturday, just because on Friday/Saturday I will be doing a subathon over on Twitch to celebrate 1 year of streaming, and since I will be doing things like Animal Crossing and other games, I didn't want that area to be spoiled, so I'm posting this just a tad bit early. That way it's not like a spoil and then the video goes up. The video will already be up. But with that being said, let's hop right into the video. So for this build, I was really inspired by fantasy, magic, fairies. As I grew up, I really liked reading a lot of fantasy books. It was what I would do in my spare time. And one book that immediately came to mind when I was kind of thinking of how I wanted to build this garden was The Secret Garden, which was a book I read when I was younger. Only I didn't quite know how to make this secret, so it was more or less... So I focused more on the fantasy and magic version of this island. So I used a lot of things like vines and the glowing moss, which are easily some of my favorite items to use when decorating. I absolutely love them. I feel like they give just a more fantasy feel, especially the glowing moss. It's something that's very different than our normal weeds, so I absolutely love them. I also grabbed a bunch of Nova lights to kind of add to that glowy effect, especially at night, along with some of the decorated ruined pillars and the ruined arch. I think those are what they're called. They're the big ones, not the half ones for the pillars. But I really like those in particular just because the area that this garden is leading up to at the very back is going to be where I build a castle, which that will be another video, so make sure you watch out for that. But I really wanted to place my house up there and make this castle area around it, so I thought having these pillars and this arch along with this mystical garden would fit that really, really well. So that's what I was kind of going for. I quickly ran around to see if I couldn't find any more of the cedar trees. Not Caesar. I'm hungry. I'm craving a Caesar salad right now. But I realized I didn't have any. All I had were the fruit trees. So for some reason in my mind, I thought, oh, Leaf will have it since it's late and Nook's Cranny's closed. But I very quickly learned that nighttime on Harv's Island is not what I knew. All of the NPCs were gone, which at least for me was shocking. So I had to time travel to the next day. And so I would have like Nook's Cranny open so I could just grab a bunch of those trees, which is what I'm doing here. I don't know, did any of you guys know about that? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'm just very far behind. But I guess it makes sense. They need to sleep at some point. So yeah, all of those NPCs are not awake during the night, which I guess is a nice, cool little tidbit. I don't know what to call it. Idea kind of thing. Once again, I ran back to Harv's Island. I wanted to see if they had any of the art. I'm looking for specific statues to decorate around my island, so I ran back to check on that. Unfortunately, Red did not have any of the statues that I wanted, but that's okay. I'll find them eventually. So at this point, I'm just kind of digging random holes around, figuring out where I want the trees. I really want it to be a nice mix of the cedar trees and I guess the pine trees. I really don't know what they're called, in all honesty. But I wanted to have that nice mix in there to really give it like this garden-like feel. And then there's Raymond, of course, as always, being the angel that they are, giving me another reaction. I think that was a smirk reaction, which is kind of cool. But I already had these waterfall area done before I even started on this build. So I'm just decorating that area a little bit with the trees. And then of course I had to dig up my money spot and grab a money tree. And then I'm just skipping to the next day, the next evening, I guess. It's not really day. I tried to do this build more at night so I can really see the glowing aspect of it, especially when I'm putting down things like moss. But I made sure that all of my trees are built and I didn't have any issues. I did notice in the one area to the left that the trees looked a little bit crowded, so I had to go grab some, I think I grabbed tomato sauce to eat of all things, and just mess around with the tree building to see what I wanted to do with it. And I honestly didn't know. I just knew I needed enough space because I wanted to do a path around there. which is kind of what I'm getting ready to do now. I'm putting on the construction gear kit stuff, and I'm messing around with paths. Originally, I thought I would do this cool little stonework, but when I looked at it and compared to like my island decor, I was like, yeah, no, this doesn't work. So I went back to my basic white path. As always, if you do want these path codes, I will leave them down below in the description for y'all. If I happen to miss one, or if I label it confusingly, which I probably will, knowing me, I'm a very confusing person most of the time and extremely chaotic. But if there's a specific path that you can't seem to find in that list, or if I miss one, just send me a DM on Discord or on Instagram or on Twitter. I'll be sure to check those. As well, if you haven't already, I do have a Discord server where I interact with my community a lot, and I post when I go live on Twitch as well as when new videos are posted. So if that's something you would like, that will also be a link down in the description. But at this point, I'm really just messing around with the paths. I wanted to make sure that it led from the staircases into this like circular motion. For me, this was really, really frustrating because I really wanted the brick path to just really hug the sides. So the top, left, right, and bottom were really close to the sides of that water, but the angles were not. It just had the slightest little sliver, which just bugged me internally. But it's Animal Crossing, what can you do? You can't have everything just the way you want it. But I'm trying to make these paths kind of lead down to the staircase area. And I was originally gonna have sharp corners, and I realized, nah, the slants look so much better. We'll just go with those instead. And then I'm just kind of filling in the corners. I really like how it ended up turning out. I really like the white, both during the day and the night. It pops really, really nicely against the green. I am really curious to see how this is gonna look during winter time. I am building all of this in I believe this one is in June. But I also build a lot in July just because I really like the bright green, and I like the new shrubs. I can't remember what they're called again. But the pink and the white ones, the ones we got new with like the Cap'n Islands and all that stuff, I absolutely love those. So I've been building mostly in June and July just so I can keep those bushes there. But I'll probably mess around and try to go back to our regular time, at least for me, which right now it's mid-November, and for those in America, the day I am filming and recording this, it's Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all my friends down in the US. But I'll probably just see how my island is at wintertime, because I'm really curious to see, will this white brick work? Will I have to change it? I don't want to change it. I absolutely love this path, but we'll see. It'll be cool to see it against the other seasons, most definitely. But looking at this path at the very end, I am so happy with how it turned out. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And then I'm going in with just some details. I put in the dark dirt path along the sides because I knew I wanted to place some shrubs and some flowers. I was thinking of maybe digging up my trees and putting some dirt underneath it, and then I decided that because I don't really use the in-game paths that much, and I stick a lot more to custom designs, that I probably shouldn't put it everywhere because it'll look very odd on the map. But I decided to stop the construction and start putting up vines everywhere, which, oh my gosh, I know I've said I love the vines a lot so far in this video, but I really do. The fact that you could put them on like the edges of cliffs, absolutely amazing. Chef's kiss. It looks so cool. It gives this overgrown, whimsical feel to me. And then when you add in that glowing moss, it's just absolutely divine. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Especially at night, being able to see the moss kind of glow, and when you're running over it, it has those little sparkles. Oh, I cannot get enough of it. I want to use it all over the place. I don't think I'm really going to use much of our normal weeds anymore now that we have these glowing little sectors. But I then realized that I needed to move or adjust a cliff over here because I wanted it to be a little bit closer to the trees. And then I was saying maybe I should put in water there, and I was like, nah, just until I figure out what I want to do with the left side of my island, I decided to don't put any waterfalls. They will be there eventually, so I'll probably put like an updated photo up on my Instagram and my Twitter. Hell, maybe I'll make a TikTok about it. Because I know I've been posting some funny clips I'm getting on TikTok while I'm playing Animal Crossing off stream. And I've gotten quite a few people asking for an island tour. So if you're from my TikTok, I'm sorry I don't have an island tour quite yet. I hope I will in the future at some point, but my island's not quite ready. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy the builds. But most definitely I will do a tour once my island's completely done. But at this point, I'm just kind of going over all of the ruined areas that I wanted to place down. And I guess I skipped another day. I went to daytime. I don't remember why. Oh. I actually don't remember. All I know is Isabel told me to go check out the campsite, so I did. I went to Harv's Island. Oh, I remember. I went to Harv's Island to customize everything. That's why I time traveled a day. Oh, I am so forgetful, but I cut that out of the video earlier, so you wouldn't have to deal with all of the dialogue. But I'm just starting to place down all the decorated ruined pillars, some of the Nova lights. I absolutely love the Nova lights and the pillars. The one thing that saddens me about the vines is you can't place something in front of it, which I guess makes sense because on the grid it does take up a spot, even though it's really like a quarter of a spot, more or less. It doesn't take up too much room, so it bugs me that I can't place something else on that little area, but that's all right. Not much to do about it. But I have some of the Nova lights and the pillars down, so now I'm just kind of running around to my island and grabbing some flowers. Fortunately, my shovel broke there, but fear not, I do have more shovels in my inventory. I go through shovels like crazy, and I know people keep telling me that if I customize it once in a while, it'll keep them from breaking, but I'm just too lazy to do that. I keep forgetting when I'm in the middle of the build that is the last thing on my mind to customize a shovel. So I'll run to Nook's Cranny if I'm really out of them, but typically I'll have some left over in my inventory because I'll just buy like 5 or 6 when I have to go buy them and just leave them in there. But once I have kind of those flowers down and some of the shrubs, I'm starting to place in a design that's it's a blank design. So it's absolutely clear. You can't tell that there's a path there. But what it does is it keeps flowers and weeds and other foliage, I guess is the word I'm looking for, from overgrowing that area. So when you take a look at my island, especially at the back, I have flowers everywhere that I just let go crazy. A good way of preventing that is just putting a design code down there, and if you don't want to have like a physical code that shows a design, I recommend using just a blank one. That's what I use, just because I find that if I don't, with the amount of times that I time travel and the amount of rain that I've been getting on this island, it'll just very quickly become very overgrown, and then I think it just, for me personally, it takes away from the build. So I'm just kind of placing them down all over the place, making them look pretty and full, but at the same time not overgrown. I still want it to be kind of walkable in the areas. Don't know why anyone would walk in there, but just in case it is a garden, who knows. But we're placing all the areas down. And I'm placing just a few little flowers and a few shrubs in the top section there, and then I'm just grabbing a quick 2 more flowers to place one in that circle and the other pink mum along the other side. I was gonna place another shrub there, but I thought, maybe not. I don't want it to be too symmetrical, so instead I placed a Nova light. But this is how it looks so far during the day without them being fully grown. So I've just time traveled tonight so you all can see it. But all the shrubs are fully grown. It's all very glowy. I really hope you all like this build. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and you can subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want to see more of my videos. But this is the final project, and I really hope you liked it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!